Okay, so next process that we are going to start is extrusion. So what happens in extrusion? The extrusion process is very similar to using cosmetic product. To imagine extrusion, you can imagine taking out something from a cosmetic tube. Let's take an example of toothpaste. What happens is, when you press the toothpaste tube, the toothpaste comes out in the form of opening of the tube, right? Something similar happens in extrusion process. What will happen is, we'll have a die. We have a die here. Inside the die we'll fill the raw material. Inside the die we'll have the raw material. Let's say here we have the raw material. The raw material is called as billet. This is the raw material. And on the other side we'll have a plunger. We'll have a plunger or a ram. Now what will happen is, we'll push the plunger. We'll push it like this. Because of this, the raw material will come out from the die opening. This is the die. This is the die opening. And it will come out in a shape similar to the die opening. So this is the extrusion process. Okay. Now what happens is, here you can see the direction of motion of the plunger. And the direction of motion of the extruded component are same, right? The direction of motion of the plunger and direction of motion of the extruded component are same. Hence this is called as direct extrusion. Or forward extrusion. This is called as direct or forward extrusion. Okay. So opposite of this is something called as backward extrusion. Let's see what happens in backward extrusion. Here we'll have the container. We have filled the workpiece. Now let's say this is the die and this is the plunger, ram or plunger. So what is happening here is, the ram again is moving in this direction, but the extruded component is going to move in the opposite direction. In this direction. So this is the direction of extruded component. Okay, so you can see here that the direction of motion of ram is opposite to direction of motion of the extruded component. Therefore, this one is called as indirect extrusion, reverse extrusion. Now, please tell me, out of the forward extrusion and backward extrusion, in which extrusion there will be more friction? Okay, very good guys. Forward is the right answer. In forward extrusion, there will be more friction. Why there will be more friction is, because in forward extrusion, the entire workpiece is moving against the die wall. Hence, there will be more friction between the workpiece, between the raw material and between the die wall. Here what is happening is, the raw material is simply flowing like this. So the raw material does not have to move against the die wall. Therefore, lesser friction will be acting in this case. In the case of reverse extrusion or the backward extrusion. Okay. So this is one advantage of the forward extrusion. Now, in which case handling of component will be easier? Again, Visheshan Kanbir are saying forward. That is the right answer, guys. See, here we are pushing from one side and the component is coming out from the other side, right? But in case of backward, from the location from where you are pushing, from the location from where you are applying the load, from that location itself the component is coming out, right? Therefore, handling of component is difficult in backward extrusion and it is easier in forward extrusion. It is easier in forward extrusion. Okay. So, one disadvantage for forward is friction, but one advantage for forward is handling is easier. Handling is easier. Now, another disadvantage for backward is since the ram or the plunger is hollow. Since the ram or the plunger is hollow, its stiffness is low. Okay. Since the ram or the plunger is hollow, its stiffness is low. That is another disadvantage of reverse extrusion. Now what happens is, we have seen that there are two disadvantages of reverse and one disadvantage of forward. But the disadvantage of forward, that was the friction, is not considered as a very big disadvantage. Why? Because if we see the load versus ram movement diagram, so overall indirect extrusion is having two disadvantages. What? One is the lower strength of the ram and other one is handling of component is difficult. Forward is having only one disadvantage. The disadvantage was higher friction forces. But if you see the load versus ram movement diagram, you'll see that higher forces are required. Wait. First of all, the upper portion of the curve is representing direct extrusion and the lower portion is representing indirect extrusion. So why friction is more in forward? Because in backward the material has to flow against plunger whose size is almost similar to the wall. Or are you talking about the inner portion? Are you talking about the first one? Are you talking about the second one? Sir, why is friction a big disadvantage when even the raw material has to move against the plunger wall? In case of indirect extrusion. Danish, what is going to happen is, here at all the points the raw material is sliding. Against the container wall. But in this case, it is not happening like the raw material is not flowing like this. Simply the raw material will flow in this direction. The raw material is not flowing in this direction. It is not happening like that. Therefore, we are not considering the friction against this wall. Okay. So if you see the load difference, that is how much force you have to apply on the ram in case of direct extrusion and indirect extrusion, you can see higher force you have to apply only at the beginning. Okay, this is because of the initial static friction. Once the ram movement has started, the difference in load is continuously decreasing. And hence the higher friction in case of forward extrusion is not considered as a very big disadvantage. And forward extrusion is most widely used extrusion process. Now, the next point is, I'll dictate all this, please, no need to worry. First focus here. So, what we have established till now is, out of backward extrusion and forward extrusion is more widely used. Okay. Now, out of the soft and hard materials, one kind of material are not used with forward extrusion. Out of the soft and hard materials. If you see textbooks, the hard materials they are calling as brittle or semi-brittle materials. Okay, so students have a doubt, sir, how can you extrude brittle material? It won't show any plastic deformation. Okay, so in the textbooks where they have written brittle or semi-brittle, they are not exactly brittle or semi-brittle, they are talking about hard materials, relatively hard materials. Okay, so I am asking, out of soft or hard materials, one kind of materials, it is difficult to extrude in forward extrusion. Which one and why? Which one and why? Vishesh is saying that, sir, we cannot extrude hard materials because high forces are required in friction. Very good, Vishesh. That's exactly the right answer. What is happening here is, if we are using hard materials, because of presence of friction, the hard materials will get easily cracked. Whereas ductile materials won't get easily cracked. Ductile materials easily absorb the loads. They won't get cracked. Whereas the hard materials will get cracked. Therefore, for extruding of hard materials, forward extrusion is not used. So, if you want to extrude a hard material, you will be going for backward extrusion. Okay. So please draw this diagram, and if you have drawn the diagram, please reply with done. Copy this diagram also. Okay. Please start writing. In forward extrusion, the direction of motion in forward extrusion, the direction of motion of the extruded component is same as the direction of ram movement. In forward extrusion, the direction of motion of extruded component is same as the direction of ram movement. Whereas in backward extrusion, the direction is opposite. Whereas in backward extrusion, the direction is opposite. Next point. In forward extrusion, the raw material has to move. Against the container wall. Hence, higher friction forces will be required. Whereas in backward extrusion, lesser friction forces will be required. Next point. In forward extrusion, the handling of extruded component is easy. In forward extrusion, the handling of extruded component is easy. Whereas in backward extrusion, the handling of extruded component is difficult. Next point. Since the ram is hollow in backward extrusion, its rigidity is low. This makes the designing of backward extrusion ram difficult. This makes the designing of backward extrusion ram difficult. Next point. From the load versus ram movement diagram, from the load is extrusion. Wait guys, there is a doubt by Vishesh. Is extrusion only done for soft metals? No Vishesh, not soft metals, ductile metals. It can be done for hard metals also. Okay, from load versus ram movement diagram, we can see that the higher extrusion load in forward extrusion only at the beginning of ram movement, and hence this higher friction force in forward extrusion is not considered as a big disadvantage, and forward extrusion is most widely used extrusion method, but because of presence of high friction on the container walls in forward extrusion there is tendency of cracking of high hardness materials. Therefore, the materials with high hardness are extruded by using backward extrusion. Therefore, the materials of high hardness are extruded by using backward extrusion. So, who is the only villain in case of forward extrusion? If we eliminate that villain, the forward extrusion will become perfect. Who is the villain of forward extrusion? Friction. Friction is the villain of forward extrusion, right? So, we want to remove the friction. For that, what we do is, we take the billet slightly smaller than the size of the container. That is, we take the raw material slightly smaller than the size of the die, and in between the gap, we fill a fluid. We fill a fluid. Okay, one of you is asking, sir, is it molten glass? Yeah, we can use molten glass. Then we can use, there are different kinds of lubricants we can use. We can use glycerin, then we can use SAE oils, we can use different kind of lubricants. Okay, so here we are taking the billet slightly smaller than the size of the raw material, and the gap in between is filled with the hydrostatic fluid, and this one is called as hydrostatic extrusion. So in this, what is going to happen is, we use a hydrostatic fluid. So whatever load you are applying, that load is being applied on the hydrostatic fluid by the ram, and this hydrostatic fluid is applying a uniform load throughout on the billet. Okay, and also, since there is no contact between the billet and the die, there is no contact between the billet and the die, billet and the container wall. There is no friction. Hence the friction is also eliminated. Therefore, in this we can get the advantages of forward extrusion, and we can extrude hard materials also. Okay, so this one is hydrostatic extrusion. Okay, so please draw this diagram. The hydrostatic extrusion was developed. The hydrostatic extrusion was developed. The hydrostatic extrusion was developed to give advantages of forward extrusion. To give advantages of forward extrusion. To give the advantages of forward extrusion. And also to extrude hard materials. And also to extrude hard materials. And also to extrude hard materials. Next point. In this, the size of the raw material. In this, the size of the raw material is taken smaller than. In this, the size of the raw material is taken smaller than the size of the container. In this, the size of the raw material is taken smaller than the size of the container, and the remaining gap is filled with a fluid. And the remaining gap is filled with a fluid. The force applied via the ram, is transferred to raw material. The force applied via the ram is transferred to raw material in the form of fluid pressure. In the form of fluid pressure. In the form of fluid pressure. Hence the pressure is uniform. Hence the pressure is uniform. Hence the pressure is uniform. Guys, one thing, see here. See, when you are applying the load, you are applying load like this, and because of the fluid, from this side also the load is acting. From this side also the load is acting. So the load is acting from all the sides. Because of this, we are able to get higher reduction in this compared to both other cases. What we say is, because of the uniform load that we are applying, we are getting higher ductility and we are getting higher reduction. We are getting higher ductility and higher reduction. Okay. So please continue writing. Due to the uniform pressure application, the material is becoming more ductile. And we are able to get higher reductions. Next point. Because of presence of the fluid, the container wall friction is completely eliminated. And hence can be used for brittle and semi-brittle materials. That is hard materials. Okay. And hence can be used for brittle and semi-brittle materials. Now the thing is, in this, the problem is avoiding the leakages. What happens is, when you are applying the load, if you are using very soft materials, the flow of soft material can be like this. The flow of soft material can be like this. Because of this, there are chances that the hydrostatic fluid may get leaked. Leaking of hydrostatic fluid. Leakage of hydrostatic fluid. Therefore, this is not used for very soft materials. Therefore, hydrostatic extrusion is not used for very soft materials. Okay, so write down. It is not suitable for. Please write, then I repeat. It is not suitable for very soft and ductile materials. It is not suitable for very soft and ductile materials due to the problem of arresting leakages of hydrostatic fluid. It is not suitable for very soft and ductile materials due to problem of arresting leakages of hydrostatic fluid. Okay. Vishesh, what I am saying is, if you are using very soft materials, they will tend to flow in this direction. The red curve that you are seeing. Because of that, there are chances that this hydrostatic fluids may leak through the die opening. That's why it is not recommended for very soft and ductile materials. Okay. Can fluid also seep into the material? Those chances are less. Those chances are less. Because most of the metals that we are using are very solid metals. Okay. Write down commonly used hydrostatic fluids. Are glycerin and SAE oil. We have liquid glass. We have castor oil. Then we have different polymers also. So I was saying if material gets cracks, then it may seep. Yeah, if material gets cracked, then it may seep. That's the thing now, Saurav. In this, the chances of crack formation are less. And the last extrusion process is impact extrusion. So what happens in impact extrusion? Let's see.